5 centuries ago, the Ottoman Empire shut down European trade routes to the east. Explorers were forced into dark, uncharted oceans. Sailing west, Christopher Columbus hit a dead zone. Suddenly, his navigation tools began acting wildly out of control. We know this because Columbus documented it in his own diary. He described a bizarre light glowing between the sea and the sky, and his compass needle spinning aimlessly before he finally managed to steer clear and reach the Americas. This successful crossing inadvertently provided the first set of evidence for a growing mystery. Columbus reached the Americas, but he left behind a written record of an anomaly that the world would eventually interpret as a death trap. After that voyage, a dark reputation settled over the region. It swallowed ships whole, earning a terrifying new title, the Devil's Triangle. Sailors began swapping stories of ghost ships drifting aimlessly. The cargo, the food, and the clothes were perfectly intact, but every single crew member was gone. The threat rapidly escalated from wooden sailboats to heavy modern machinery. A massive American naval vessel carrying nearly 300 passengers steamed into the area and vanished without a distress signal. Then came the disappearance that caught the entire world's attention. During World War II, 5 American fighter jets, known as Flight 19, flew a routine patrol right over the water. Down on the ground, radio operators listened in horror as the pilots argued over directions. Eventually, the captain's final transmission crackled through the speakers. "We all go down together." They never found the wreckage. This stretch of ocean operated like a void, erasing whatever touched it. If heavy military aircraft and massive steel ships couldn't withstand this region, what unseen force protected Christopher Columbus? The answer is actually written in that very same diary. Columbus didn't face a sea monster or a supernatural vortex. He documented a highly predictable physical reaction. This map illustrates the Earth's invisible magnetic fields. Compasses rely on these fields to point north, but the Earth has specific zones called magnetic field anomalies, where those natural lines warp, causing a needle to jitter. This behavior is completely normal. If you sail off the coast of Russia or northern Canada, your navigation tools will do the exact same thing. Columbus made it to the Americas because there was nothing in the water trying to pull him under. The ocean itself was safe. So if the water is harmless, we have to look at what actually destroyed those modern ships and planes. That terrifying story about the completely empty ghost ship, it first appeared in a newspaper 20 years after it supposedly happened, with absolutely zero evidence. It was fiction designed to scare children. The massive Navy vessel carrying 300 people sank because it had a well-documented cracked mechanical cylinder that gave out in the middle of the sea. And those 5 World War II fighter jets were being flown by men with very little actual flight experience. They lost their bearings over the open ocean, argued over which way was east, and ran out of fuel before they could find land. To understand what is really happening, let's look at the hard data across 5 centuries. Over 500 years, only 50 boats and 20 planes have sunk in the Bermuda Triangle. Globally, the Indian Ocean claims far more vessels every year. Mathematically, the Bermuda Triangle is a perfectly normal, highly trafficked body of water. The mystery is a complete statistical fabrication. If the statistics completely exonerate the region, why did the world spend decades terrified of it? When those 5 World War II jets went down, the American film industry was hitting its absolute peak. Audiences were hungry for spectacle. Magazine publishers realized that printing stories about pilot error or cracked engine cylinders didn't move copies, but blaming disappearances on aliens generated serious cash. They spun a mechanical tragedy into gold. One specific book claiming that extraterrestrials were hiding in the triangle sold 1.5 million copies. American boardrooms manufactured a mystery where none existed, transforming a series of unrelated accidents into a highly profitable media product. Eventually, this commercial product crossed oceans, landing in places like India and Pakistan. As it spread, local populations added their own cultural fears. A simple jittery compass was aggressively rebranded as the hidden throne of Shaitan, the secret headquarters of the Illuminati, or the island of the Dajjal. This pattern of blind acceptance has deep historical roots. Centuries before the Triangle myth, travelers in Mecca would return from foreign lands with unverified stories of new gods, tales that the local public accepted as fact, despite a total lack of physical evidence. It exposes how easily a society's belief system can be hijacked by a single, unquestioned rumor if it sounds dramatic enough. Today, we face the exact same threat. Algorithms and artificial intelligence instantly pump thousands of these unverified stories directly into our pockets. The real story of Columbus's voyage serves as a historical warning. Sensational narratives often disintegrate under the weight of actual research.